This is Mikey.
And I'm Garrison Rifen. This is Cinema Debrief. Welcome to Cinema Debrief. I'm Garrison Rifen here alongside my co-host Mikey. How you doing tonight, Mikey?
What is up, Garrison? Man, it is my favorite time of year. That's right. It's Oscar season, baby. I mean, this is it. This is the big. I've got my ballot already printed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm studying. I'm trying to figure out like who's got the edge. I think I know who's going to win everything. I think this is my year to come back and dominate every single, Oscar pick thing that I enter. We'll see, though. I mean, I'm excited about it.
Well, just to let the listener know, if you want to join in our Oscar Pick'em game, try to reach out to us at cinemadebriefpod@gmail.com and try to, either if you want access to our Discord or not, we can try to get you access to our Pick'em that's private on ESPN's website.
That's right.
We'd love to have you join and have more people in there to compete against us. I think I'm reigning champion. Maybe
you are
the last 4 years, so
something like that, like ridiculous streak that you've got going.
So I feel pretty good about that. I'm always excited for Oscar season myself. But this Saturday, I went to see Empire Strikes Back in concert down in Jacksonville with the Jacksonville Symphony, and it was fantastic. I mentioned this to you previously, but I have already seen A New Hope as of last year in concert. I saw Return of the Jedi in 2022. So I've now completed the trilogy of the original trilogy of Star Wars. I'd love if they started getting into the prequels, just to be able to get more of those out there. But I really, really enjoy those symphony concerts. You're sitting down with an orchestra. They're playing the music for the movie. Sometimes you're watching them. Sometimes you're just so lost in the movie because they're doing such a great job that, you're not even really paying attention to the fact that you're at a live concert, essentially. Jacksonville Symphony Orchestra always does a fantastic job with these movies. I just a couple weeks ago went to the John Williams concert, and this is a completely different. I looked at the band. I went, "Are there any similar members here?" And I mean, like, they've got so many members that clearly, they have multiple different sets of who they can bring to these different things and who's practicing on different stuff.
Yeah.
And these guys did a fantastic job too. So that was awesome. Different conductor for this one as well.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, he came out with his little Yoda. There was an interesting beginning to this concert because they scheduled a comedy show at the exact same time as the movie concert, and so we're both loading into the same building with two theaters across from each other. We decided to show up an hour early to make sure that we didn't get caught in all that traffic. They delayed the start of the movie by 20 minutes because it just took so long to get people funneled into the theater. Both showings were sold out, both the comedian and the movie. And again, this is one building that you have to enter in the same entrance. It's just the theaters are on opposite sides of the hall. It's kind of crazy, but thankfully things seemed to turn out well and for both parties. But when we got out, I was so shocked that the comedian's thing lasted just as long as ours did.
Oh, wow.
So we were funneling out with the rest of that crowd and going,
no.
"Oh, this is a nightmare."
the double exiting that's a lot of people in one place at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm a bad Star Wars fan because I've never gone to one of these before, but I need to. There's one going to be in Birmingham this year. I need to just bite the bullet, go to one. It sounds like it's a really unique, fully immersive experience, so I just need to do it. I mean, these things have been going on. I mean, I remember in the 90s, I want to say like Anthony Daniels was hosting Star Wars in concert. I mean, these type of things have been going on for a while. I did at one time in my life at a Star Wars celebration in a different room, but in the same building, get to hear John Williams conduct part of the Star Wars score.
Was it a celebration?
It was a celebration. I was not in the main room that this occurred. I was in a separate room, but I was in the same building, so I'm counting it. I'm like I was in the space of this happening. So it was just amazing, just absolutely amazing. Just to hear that. So I need to do it. I just need to do it. I'm dumb for not doing it. The only like real bit, I'm not a big like orchestra guy, a symphony guy, I guess. I did when I was younger. I mean, not much younger, but about, I don't know, 20 years ago or so, the London Symphony Orchestra was coming through town and they did a huge, massive concert. It was conducted by, I don't know, it was somebody famous, but it wasn't John Williams. It was someone kind of big, though, that came through. I've got Jerry Goldsmith. I think that's who it was. Jerry Goldsmith was conducting the London Symphony Orchestra. I've still got my ticket for that. So that was cool because they did obviously a lot of music scores and stuff like that. But this Star Wars thing, look, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I've got to go do this. Anyways,
it's awesome. I implore you, if there are, look into your area, if there are any concerts of any kind for any kind of movie that you enjoy. I know that they've done La La Land concert, movie versions of that kind of thing. If it's out there and you enjoy it, go support it. It's always great to be in a crowd full of people that love something. There were people cheering throughout the movie when certain moments happen, and do or do not, there is no try. Yoda lifting up the X-wing, all that kind of stuff played really well with the crowd.
That's cool.
And I love kind of that communal experience of seeing the movie, but then add to it the cool performance that's happening in front of you. The only downside I will say to sometimes watching with an orchestra is that they play loud enough sometimes that there are just a sentence here or there, maybe 4 sentences over the movie that get drowned out because of the orchestra.
Yeah, makes sense.
But they put subtitles on the screen, so it's fine.
It's not like you're having many people that have seen the movie for the first time in their life going to these things.
I agree with you. Last night, there was an old couple walking on the way out, though, that went, "So what happens to that Han guy?"
No way. That is awesome.
So there are some people that go for the first time.
That's good. That's cool. Those must just be like people with season tickets or something that just go to everything. That's neat. I like to hear that.
So let's talk about the Academy Awards.
Yes. Oh,
98th Academy Awards coming up. We're just mostly going to talk about above the line nominees.
Later on, we'll dive deep, like at a different episode. We'll do some deep dives and make our picks and whatnot. But I mean,
I'm going to go over the Best Picture noms real quick. 10 of them: Begonia, F1, Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, The Secret Agent, Sentimental Value, Sinners, and Train Dreams. I mentioned this to you on the side a little bit, but maybe the first time that Netflix has had 2 nominees in there. We'll have to fact check that later. I'm not going to use AI to fact check it because I don't trust that. But but solid year for them. Solid year for Warner Brothers, who has over 30 nominations, I believe,
insane.
or at 30 at the Academy Awards. Just crazy. I know that you wanted to talk about some snubs that you felt.
Just a couple. I will say, just looking, and this is the first time this has kind of dawned on me, this is actually quite a diverse Best Picture list here. I mean, you've got, your popcorn flick with F1.
Yeah.
You've got a couple of horror flicks. I wouldn't necessarily call Frankenstein a horror film, although horrific things do happen in the movie. You've got some international flavor with The Secret Agent from Brazil, Sentimental Value from Norway. You've got, really dramatic stuff in Hamnet and Train Dreams. You've got drama comedy kind of stuff with Marty Supreme and Begonia. So I really think that they did a great job with these 10 nominations. Some people were kind of shocked that Wicked for Good didn't get in there. That's good. It doesn't deserve to be there.
Well, there's a reason for that. It's just not as good as the first one.
It's just, exactly. It's not. I mean, so it just now I will say that I was kind of shocked that it didn't get any nominations.
Yeah, like no supporting or actress
or costume or something. I would have thought it would have gotten
that's
something.
a fair point. Costume, definitely.
Yeah, because I mean, one of the, I think it was costume. Was it costume that had Avatar Fire and Ash for costume design? That's kind of strange, to be honest. But whatever. I mean, whatever. Uh, yeah, I mean, really the only category, and we can dive into these a little bit, but really the only category, and this is probably somewhat recency bias for me because I did see The Testament of Anne Lee this week. I
Mhm.
thought Amanda Seyfried was a revelation in that. I mean, it's really the best that she's ever been, in my opinion. And so I think actress in a leading role, she could have probably supplanted Kate or Emma for me in both of those. I mean, either one of those. Not to disparage the performance from Kate Hudson or Emma Stone, but Amanda Seyfried was just freaking amazing in what was a very unique style of film that I haven't quite seen before. So I recommend, first of all, go see the movie, and then let me know, listeners, what you think about like Amanda Seyfried not getting an Oscar nom, because good grief, she was really amazing, carried the whole film. Like she was almost in just about every scene, and she was great. So that was only like the huge major snub that I saw.
Yeah. We talked about the two that you kind of thought maybe could have gone in place, Kate Hudson, Emma Stone.
Yeah,
The Emma Stone factor to me is interesting because she's been really fantastic in the last few years.
sure she has. Yeah.
Gotten some big wins,
Mm-hmm.
off of her directors last, I'm calling him her directors, Yorgos,
Yeah.
who she's
Yeah.
been working with almost exclusively the last few years,
Mm-hmm.
his last couple films. And now she's nominated again, but it's starting to feel like that kind of Meryl Streep effect where she constantly is getting nominated, where you start going, does she deserve it for this one? Or is it because they love her so much that she's
Yeah.
getting nominated?
It's hard to
And
know. I mean, you had mentioned it earlier that the Academy now has 10,000 plus voters because,
yeah,
the idea is to create an environment of more diversity, and she still seems to get in there every year. Like the person that some would say maybe got snubbed a little bit, I don't necessarily agree with it, would be Chase Infinity in that category.
mhm,
She had been nominated in several other awards. I think that she's great in the movie. Not that screen time matters much, but she's really only in about half the movie. She's not in the movie that much. But I'm not a screen time guy. I'm not saying, because gosh, there's supporting actor nominations that are like have a 5-minute scene and they get nominated, and
yeah,
well deserved though. I
yeah,
mean, so I'm not necessarily saying that should be a big deal, but a lot of times with best actress nominations, especially, I mean, it's because that those people are carrying the film. I mean, it's essentially their movie. Especially if you're looking at the categories or at the actresses that were nominated. I mean, really the only one that can be said maybe wasn't their movie was Kate Hudson. I mean,
mhm,
she was a very good, what I would say, co-star to Hugh Jackman.
yeah.
But it's not just her movie.
Well,
Whereas the other four
she kind of takes
nominees,
over at the end, but yeah.
she does take over at the end. I mean, I would say that
I'm just sorry.
the other four are pretty. It was pretty much Emma was. It was in a good ensemble, but
Yeah.
anyways.
Yeah, you got Jessie Buckley in Hamnet, Rose
Mhm.
Byrne in If I Had Legs I'd Kick You, Kate Hudson in Song Sung Blue, Renezve, I don't know how to say that exactly, in Sentimental Value, and Emma Stone in Begonia. Look, and
Yeah.
you can only pick 5 things. That's the thing.
Yeah.
These categories are limited to 5.
Yeah. And we don't
These
need to expand
studios,
it. I'm anti-expansion. I know that there's
me
a
too.
huge amount of people out there that want to expand,
No
but
thanks.
no, leave it like this. I mean, every
Look,
year it seems like those voices get louder, and I'm anti. Just don't expand the categories.
look, the thing is, the Academy Awards a game. The studios play the game,
Mm-hmm.
and some smaller studios like Neon
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
play the game really well.
They do. They
For
definitely do.
for the reach that they have. I brought this question up to you earlier, but
Yeah.
we were talking about the expansion of the Academy and
Mm-hmm.
what that has meant for the awards in reality. Because the
Yeah.
thought was, like you said, diversify, get more movies in, some
Yeah.
more international pictures in, and the
Mm-hmm.
reality is we've gotten some more international pictures in since the
Totally.
expansion of the Academy. But
Yeah.
I think that's really the effort of studios like Neon popping up, and
Mm-hmm.
maybe even something like an A24, but mostly Neon,
Yeah,
getting
they've
these
been
films
very good at the game. Yes, for
in
sure.
there. Yeah, I mean, their first win and their first real push that I'm aware of was Parasite, and they got it.
Yeah.
And they learned from that since then and have gotten a lot of nominations.
Yep. Totally. No, I agree. I mean, I think that the category that the expansion of the Academy, I think, has helped the most, if you're looking at diversity for diversity's sake, is probably the Best Picture category.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because like I had mentioned, in my opinion, that's a really diverse list of films there.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's working. Like they're accomplishing the goal that they wanted to accomplish. I mean, just in the actor category, since we haven't mentioned it yet, I mean, you've got Wagner Mourrow, who is nominated for an international picture.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, before the expansion of the Academy, that type of thing didn't happen that often.
Stellan is, that's also
for supporting, yeah.
Yeah, Stellan Skarsgård is nominated for supporting.
He's such a well-known name. People don't
equate
him with being Norwegian, but the dude's from Norway. I mean, it's international. So yeah, I mean, I think that what they've done by expanding the Academy, it's accomplishing the goals. I think there's always going to be people that think that it's not accomplishing the goal enough, but I think it's doing fine. I think it's all good.
Well, here's something that someone pointed out that I thought was interesting, and I wish I could credit them. It's been a while since I found it. I wish I had saved the link, but since they've expanded the Academy, less and less movies are getting nominated overall, and more films are getting more, wider amount of noms. So like Sinners broke the record for 16 noms.
Yeah, and I joked in our Discord that, well, it wouldn't have if it was, but they would have. I mean, they would have gotten 15, which would have broken the record. So even though they added casting to get the 16th nomination, they would have broken the record with 15 anyways.
And there used to be 2 sound categories, so would they have gotten 2 sound,
Yeah, and we're getting stunt. I guess it would be stunt coordinator next year. Is that next year that's coming? I think so.
I think it's next year.
Yeah, I think it is.
Because I remember going, oh darn, it stinks that the Mission Impossible movie came out this year because I could have gotten it.
Yeah. So so we're gonna have 25 categories next year, and I think we really need to slow down. Like we need to stop with let's not, because there was a moment where they were trying to do a box office thing or something, and so many people complained about it that they pulled back on that. But I think that the casting director is well deserved for Oscar, as is stunt coordinator. So I mean, but 25 categories, we can stop now. We don't need to go any further than that after the 99th Academy Awards. Give us the stunts, it'll be cool.
And aside from Best Picture, we don't need more nominations in the other categories.
No.
Yeah. Other above the line ones: Best Actor, Timothée Chalamet for Marty Supreme, Leo DiCaprio for One Battle After Another, Ethan Hawke in Blue Moon, Michael B. Jordan in Sinners, and Wagner Moura in The Secret Agent. We talked a little bit about Moura a second ago.
Yeah,
that's also kind of a wide range of movies and all kinds of stuff. I mean, Ethan Hawke's movie has barely gotten a release that I'm aware of.
It got a short release. It'll get re-released obviously again because the Academy, at least for AMC, and I think Regal does it as well, they'll re-release all the Academy Award Best Picture nominees, and Blue Moon was... Oh, wait, no, it's not. You know what? I don't know if Blue Moon will get a re-release. I'm sure it probably will.
Yeah. They'll push it in some way near the Oscars so that people can see it.
I mean, I think you can rent it right now,
but some big news out of that AMC thing, though, when you talk about it, it's the first time ever that they're playing Netflix's Best Picture nominees in the marathon.
That's going to be interesting.
So the first time since 2017 that they're going to play all the Best Picture nominees.
Yeah, I mean, I was lucky to see Frankenstein. It was at a random theater, not an AMC. It was like a little independent theater almost here in Alabaster, Alabama, of all places. So I got to see Frankenstein on the big screen at the time. But yeah, I mean, the opportunity to see Train Dreams again, because I watched it on Netflix, it probably would look pretty good on the big screen. So I don't know. I might take that opportunity.
Other categories, I think this one may be the most competitive of every one that we've talked about so far. Best Supporting Actress. Best Supporting Actress, you've got Elle Fanning in Sentimental Value. You've got Amy Madigan in Weapons. You got Ingna I can't say that name. I'm so sorry.
The co-star
Yes, in
co-star to
sentimental
Elle
value.
Fanning in sentimental value. Yeah, exactly.
Wound-Me, Mosaku in Sinners, and Tiana Taylor in One Battle After Another.
Yeah, I think that is a completely up in the air category. Tiana obviously won the Golden Globe.
Yep.
I don't think that the SAG Awards have a supporting category. I could be wrong on that, but I don't think they have a supporting category. So really there's not much to go off of who has the edge.
No, Madigan got Critics' Choice, right?
Yeah, Madigan got Critics' Choice, but Critics' Choice is I don't know. I'll have to look at the SAGs. I don't think that they do a supporting category for the SAGs, but I could be totally wrong there.
Yeah, well, sorry, Mikey, it's not the SAGs.
Oh, the Actor Awards. My bad.
Actor Awards.
Yeah, that's ridiculous, but okay.
Two that I don't think are very competitive categories: Best Writing. So in original screenplay, you've got Blue Moon, It Was Just an Accident, Marty Supreme, Sentimental Value, and Sinners. I think Sinners is taking that one personally. Adapted screenplay, you've got Begonia, Frankenstein, Hamnet, One Battle After Another, and Train Dreams. One Battle After Another is the front runner there by a pretty big margin.
Yeah, an interesting statistic that I saw today. Paul Thomas Anderson won some random screenplay award that the previous 2 years the same thing has happened, but also the previous 2 years that person did not win Best Picture as well. So it could be.
Well, that's going to get broken.
I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. Sorry, shouldn't tip my hand too much on.
I know. Don't tip your hand too much, buddy. We'll see. I don't know.
Lastly,
the SAG Awards are going to be the one to watch, I think.
Yeah. Lastly, you've got Best Actor in a Supporting Role, Benicio del Toro for One Battle After Another, Jacob Elordi in Frankenstein, Delroy Lindo, which I love to see in Sinners, Sean Penn for One Battle After Another, and Stellan Skarsgård for Sentimental Value. I should correct that. Up and coming star Delroy Lindo. I don't know if you saw that video.
73 years. Yeah, I did see that. It's a good video. That guy was like, yeah, that was a really funny video. Yeah, I mean, that particular category, Jacob Elordi won the Golden Globe or the Critics or something. I can't remember what he won, which I thought was really strange. I think he's great in that movie.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
I don't know. I'm not feeling an award-worthy performance totally.
I'm really surprised Sean Penn's not run away with this.
He's kind of, I don't know.
I mean, maybe he's just made enough enemies in the industry.
I think that, he's not like completely beloved. Whereas what's interesting, Stellan is beloved, Delroy Lindo's beloved, so we'll see, and Benicio is too, but Benicio really hasn't been getting anything. So we'll see. I mean, I honestly think with the inclusion of Delroy Lindo, that kind of opens up that category quite a bit to being a bit more competitive than it has been. Because Delroy was not nominated in anything that I can recall before this moment. As far as other awards shows this year. So Stellan might need to be shaken in his boots a bit because Delroy could come in and take that one. We'll see. I mean, it'll be interesting the closer it gets to March, how the betting odds change on those.
Well, the Monday before the Oscars, I'm going to go ahead and say most of our focus in that episode is going to be what we think is going to win.
Oh, totally. Totally.
And we'll get to it when we get to it. But that's going to be a fun episode, and I can't wait to make the picks.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
I'm really excited for that time of year.
That's right. It's my favorite time of year.
Well,
again, I wish it would end in February rather than March, but it is my favorite.
Yeah, I totally agree. The last time we did, I think, was the 2019. It was in 2020, but the 2019, Academy Awards, where Parasite won. That was awesome when it was in February, and it's been March since then. Some of that's been COVID, and then they've just never gone back.
They've just never gone back. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, we've got an off-the-shelf pick.
Yes, we did.
The Loveless, 1981. Why don't you take it away since it's your pick?
Yeah, I mean, and there's not really any rhyme or reason to the picks that I'm making other than it's the order actually on the shelf. It's the order that these movies are sitting. So there wasn't really any major reason that I picked The Loveless other than I had not seen it before. It was cool that Catherine Bigelow, it was her first film. She directed a film this year. didn't get nominated for anything, but there was a moment when everybody was hyping up her Netflix movie that kind of died upon the vine once it actually came out. But it's cool to say that I've seen her first film now. I'm glad it was only 83 minutes long.
Mm-hmm.
Very young Willem Dafoe. There was some supporting actors I maybe recognized. The young girl's dad, I kind of recognized him a little bit, but most of the people that were in this were new or maybe just working actors who hadn't really been in much. Willem Dafoe was kind of the star of the film. Takes place in the 50s. It was directed in 1981, and I do have to say that it was co-directed by Monty Montgomery, who I don't, and co-written. Yeah, I don't know much about him, but obviously we all know who Catherine Bigelow is. It's just your typical biker film. Now, specifically 50s biker. Now, stuff like Easy Rider, that took place in the 60s. Those were like the hippie bikers. This is more of the biker, that had the slicked back oil hair, the leather jackets, still on Harleys and stuff, but these biker gangs that would go through town or whatever. It was unique, and I had no idea going in that the movie took place in Georgia, which was pretty interesting. So,
I didn't either.
Yeah, and stuff that I love about older movies from the 80s and 90s, just the location shooting, which still happens. I'm not saying like location shooting is completely gone. I mean, we had Train Dreams this year, obviously, but it's something that if they can avoid doing a location shoot, they'll avoid doing a location shoot. But this movie, I think, because of the nature of the film, the location of it being in South Georgia, it being like hot, I loved some of just the open road scenes, just of the motorcycles. And later on in the film, there was a pretty cool 50s car just going down the road. So it was a lot of that vibe about it. But this biker crew was going through South Georgia on their way to Daytona to a big like biker convention thing. And they that one of their bikes breaks down, and so they have to a lot of the film takes place at a repair shop. And as the movie is unfolding, you think that you're watching like the antagonist be Willem Dafoe and his biker crew, but really the antagonist comes into play kind of middle of the film, kind of this guy that randomly shows up, and he seems like he's maybe not part of the local government, but a guy that people feel like they have to pay for protection or so. I don't know, because you see one scene where the repair shop owner is having to give this guy some cash for some reason. So he's fleecing all these local businesses for money, and he's kind of a jerk, just a slimy guy. And later on, his daughter comes into play. She is perhaps underage. She's driving, so she's at least 16. So in Georgia, maybe at the time in the 50s, maybe she wouldn't be considered underage. I mean, nowadays, 18 and up is probably the better age to be. But so Willem Dafoe or really she seduces Willem Dafoe. It's not even really that he's looking for action. Well, she kind of seduces him a little bit.
Yeah. But he's not looking for action. I mean, the opening scene.
Yeah, they always are. Yeah. All these bikers are kind of, on the line of that type of stuff. And so we come to find out later on that the slimy guy that we meet middle of the film is her dad, and things escalate pretty quickly. I pretty much really hate the ending because there was a moment at the end where Willem Dafoe's character could have had a hero moment, and for whatever reason, they chose not to have that moment. He's just sort of there staring, just seeing what happens, and just moves on with his life and doesn't try to stop what happens. So it's just, I don't know. It's on Amazon Prime, so it's an easy watch. I mean, it's only like 83 minutes, so I don't necessarily want to like spoil anything per se, but it's just like the opportunity was there, but that's not necessarily the type of movie this is. it's not necessarily wanting to show that
No,
these bikers, these
they're
aren't like the Sons of Anarchy bikers.
no, they're very sleazy.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
not good people themselves.
No, they're not.
Yes, they're not the worst person in the movie, but
No, yeah,
they're
yeah.
not good people.
Surprisingly not the worst.
Yeah, when the movie opens and you get to the diner scene, there are things that
Yeah.
happen. You think, oh, these guys are awful.
These guys are awful. Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to tear things up. It's not going to be good for this town.
Mm.
I think you mentioned this in your review, maybe, but
Mhm.
it's very much a slow vibes based kind of
Yeah.
movie.
Oh yeah.
where
It's all
you're,
it's
you're
living off
you're
vibes. Yeah.
you're staying on shots that a commercial movie would not stay on as long,
Right.
because at a certain point the viewer does start to go, okay, can something happen?
Yeah. 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 Exactly.
I mean, it feels like you're dragging to 80 minutes, which is not a good feeling to have.
That's not a good feeling to have. No. I mean, it picks up a little bit
It's not
towards
it's
the
not
end, but
it's not a terrible movie. I just don't
no.
care for I don't care for this type of movie. I know there are
Yeah.
people who would.
Yeah.
It's very sleazy. There's a guy in the movie who's in the biker gang who's got a Nazi tattoo on his hand.
Yes.
It looks like it's drawn on by a Sharpie.
Yeah. Totally did.
Which is
Yeah.
kind of just kind of speaks to the budget they had for this movie, obviously.
Yeah.
It's fairly low budget. The thing
yeah.
that interested me most about this, it's funny because I kind of got done with it and went, man, what am I going to talk about? I have notes, but I'm like, I just don't love this movie.
No, yeah. Sometimes the off the shelf picks aren't going to always hit.
Yeah. No, I know. But when you sent me that thing, it was interesting that it was shot in Liberty County.
Yeah.
Which is just about an hour 10 away or whatever from where that spot is. It's right apparently on the border between Liberty and Bryan County. That just kind of made me go, oh, okay, so it's shot in this area. I saw the Georgia license plates.
Yeah.
And I went, oh, so it must have been shot in Georgia potentially, or around Georgia. They were using Georgia, license plate cars. But I didn't realize it was so close to home.
Yeah, it's like South Georgia. Yeah.
Yeah. That area, we go and play a high school team there every couple of years in Hinesville, Georgia. So I'm not, as familiar with it as this specific area, my county, but I'm decently familiar with that area. And I didn't know that they shot up there. IMDb estimates the budget at $800,000, which is fairly low budget.
That's low budget. Even in the 80s, that's still considered low budget, I would guess. Yeah.
Yeah. And look, I mean, for 800,000, I think they did a good job.
Oh yeah.
It's not my kind of movie, but getting to the girl,
right,
the teenage girl, and I don't mean the controversial potentially stuff about her age and things that they do together, but not on camera. Doesn't happen on camera.
Yeah, exactly.
Her Southern accent. Oh my goodness.
It was bad, wasn't it? It was bad. Yeah.
I had to literally pause the movie at that point and write down a note about that, because look, in Hollywood movies, if you live in the South, I don't have a super Southern accent, though sometimes I can hear it come out occasionally, but you hear a lot of people do Southern accent in Hollywood movies and they're not very good. Yeah. This might be one of the worst I've heard.
It's up there. I mean, I've definitely heard some bad ones over the years, but it's up there. It was rough.
It's not, I would probably bash someone more in a bigger commercial film for doing that accent.
Yeah. She probably got paid
who can
very little to do the movie.
Yeah, she's not going to a speech person to get all this stuff.
Yeah,
down,
exactly. Yeah.
So I'll give her some. She's not a big time actress. She didn't really do a lot in her career.
No. Yeah, I didn't recognize her at all. Like, I think the guy that played her dad, I kind of recognized him. Like, I think that he's been in other stuff. But really, I mean, the biggest deal of this would be Willem Dafoe. I mean, he obviously has gone on to be, amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Still hasn't won an Oscar. He's been nominated a couple of times, but I don't think he's won an Oscar. He's up there for me with Ray Fiennes as far as being nominated but not winning. It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. And they both play villains a lot, and that may hurt them. I don't think they ever should, but sometimes I think people just kind of subconsciously take that in.
In the case of Willem Dafoe, he likes to play deviants too. Like he likes to play sleazy deviant type characters.
Yeah.
It's always almost against typecast when you see him not doing something like that. So a great actor though.
He's got such a great face and expressive face for a villain.
Unique.
Too.
Yeah, exactly.
Or
exactly.
a deviant character.
So, yeah, exactly. So I mean, yeah, this one certainly was an off the shelf miss. But
that's fine. Yeah, but I was going to just say real quick, there's an interesting part of this. The best part of this movie to me is the opening of the diner scene where we start super far back in the diner.
Yeah.
We're so far removed from the main character. There's something I think being communicated and said there. Then you get some shots of ambiance and signs of the diner and signs of the diner being reflected on the floor. I thought all that was really great camera work.
Oh yeah, there was some cool stuff in it. Yeah.
But other than that, I didn't really enjoy the rest.
Well, and I think that they did a very good job of conveying just the heat of Georgia. I mean, in the summer, I think that there was a lot of really good atmospheric shots in the film. Like I said, you could tell that, and I don't know if this was from the Monty Montgomery side of things or the Catherine Bigelow side of things, but one of the two is in love with just motorcycles. And there's a lot of just shots of the motorcycles being worked on, that they spend a long time on, that you could just tell that somebody on this production really loves cars and motorcycles and stuff like that. And so I'm guessing that's a combination of both Catherine and Monty, but it was still cool. It was like a love letter to that type of lifestyle, I guess.
Yeah, that era bikers in the 50s. Would it surprise you to know that the original title in research, I mean, it's basic research, was Breakdown?
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me at all.
I actually kind of like that title a little bit better.
I do too. The Loveless.
Yeah, I think I know what they're going for with the Loveless.
Yeah,
but I feel like Breakdown makes more sense.
It does.
In terms of the story itself.
Exactly. I think it does as well. I mean, because there's not only the breakdown of the motorcycle itself, you could say
this community.
The community, the breakdown of the family.
The breakdown of the family, the breakdown of the biker gang.
Yep.
That's happening actively as we're watching this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And they're starting to break down in the Georgia heat, but also, internally as a group, we see some breakdown of dynamics there. I actually think they shouldn't have left that title.
And so, the portrayal, like, there's not one woman in this except maybe the older woman that works at the diner that is totally on the up and up. Like, even the waitress, for whatever random reason, does a dance at the bar at the end, and I'm like, I thought that
was kind of weird.
The women in this movie are it's just odd to see that when you've got a female director as well. So it's very interesting. So, well, hopefully I know what my next one's going to be. Obviously, I'm not going to announce that now, but I obviously on my shelf know the order of things. So the next one, I think a lot of people are going to be very surprised that I have never seen the movie, because it's a movie from, I think, the early 90s that a ton of people love. So that'll be next time that it's my turn.
I'm excited to hear that one.
Yeah.
I have been going in alphabetical order so far on my shelf. I'm going to skip that this time. And go a little bit past the next one, because the next one's a little long in alphabetical order. So I thought I'd give us a little bit of a break.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and go with 1980s, as it says on this disc, Battle Creek Brawl. In America, it's called The Big Brawl. It was Jackie Chan's first time trying to break into American cinema as the lead actor. It's not Cannonball Run. It is 96 minutes. It's streaming on Amazon Prime. I love Jackie Chan. I get to talk about a Jackie Chan film I'd never seen, and it has a lot of direct ties to American cinema. So
is it on Amazon Prime as The Big Brawl?
Yes, I believe so, because that's the American title.
That's the American title. Okay, so it's on there as The Big Brawl. Okay, cool. I am making a note of that, and I'm excited. I certainly have not seen as many Jackie Chan movies as you have. I've seen a lot of them, but I haven't the big ones. I haven't seen a lot of these smaller ones. So
Yeah. Well, and this one was a failure. It was. I do know that. And we can get into the history of it when we get to the episode, but this was one of the first times they tried to break into America. It was co-produced between Hong Kong and American producers, and it just didn't do as well as they wanted it to do. And Jackie didn't hit big over here yet. So
well,
took until the 90s, I think, for that to really happen.
Was this before his appearance in Cannonball Run?
No, this is 1980. Cannonball Run is late 70s, right?
Yeah, either late 70s or early 80s. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head, but
you know what? Cannonball Run was 1981.
Yeah,
So I guess technically it did come out before Cannonball Run. So
right before, yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess he probably shot it internationally, and the American release, maybe they held it. I don't know exactly when he shot the film versus when Cannonball Run was shot, but maybe this is the movie that got him that role in Cannonball Run, maybe.
I will research it.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, as far as filming is concerned, like when things get filmed versus when things get released, we have seen many times where it could be 2 years sometimes before something gets released after it's filmed.
Sometimes longer if, they don't really believe in it.
Sometimes longer, exactly. Yes, indeed.
Speaking of things that you're surprised didn't get delayed for not being believed in.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let's get to Mercy for 2026.
The big, as they would call it, a tentpole style film. That's being dropped in January. It's never a good sign.
I want to give some credit to Amazon here.
I do too.
They're one of the few streamers who have committed to theatrical, and unlike some others, and even some traditional studios right now, they are holding up their end of the bargain and putting out movies in theaters that, they've committed to doing. Currently right now, Paramount claims under Ellison to be putting out 15 movies a year. Side tangent.
We haven't seen one yet.
There's nothing on the slate.
Well,
for 15 movies a year.
Wait, wasn't Primate Paramount, or was that not? I can't remember what it was.
Either way, he's not even close to the number they were talking about.
No,
the next couple of years right now. So, and including they've moved some movies to streaming already. So I don't know what they're doing over there. But Amazon is holding up their end of the bargain.
Yes, they are, and I think that. I think I'm hoping that lack of a box office return won't give them pause, because they theoretically could start pulling stuff back to the streaming service.
They could,
but I hope that they don't. I hope that they continue to just give us the release schedule.
See, things like Air and other stuff have done well. I mean, you have to have movies that have buzz, that are well reviewed for the most part. Things that aren't well reviewed that do well are usually things that are established in some way.
So and
this was not reviewed well.
Let's talk about the marketing of Mercy, because I think that they completely missed on the marketing of this movie.
I didn't think the trailers were very good.
Exactly. That's what I'm getting at. I don't think that it's wise to have the majority of your trailer be your star just sitting in a chair.
Yeah.
Because that's not the whole movie. There are action sequences outside of that they could have pulled from to at least make a trailer that says, hey, you're not going to be seeing Chris Pratt sit in a chair for an hour and a half. We promise. Yes, maybe that is a little bit of what this movie becomes.
It is part of it, but yeah.
But they could have at least cut a trailer that didn't show that. But me going in, I didn't realize that the director, and I'm not even going to try and pronounce the guy's last name, but the Tamir something or other is the guy, and he kind of got his name put in notoriety in the early 2000s from directing a movie called Night Watch and Day Watch, which are and he's a Russian director, I believe. Interesting vampire films, and so those kind of he got an American deal after that. He directed Wanted back in 2008, which was well received with Angelina Jolie, based upon a graphic novel, I believe. And then from there, he did Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, which was a hot property because the book was very well received, but unfortunately the movie didn't work out, and his career's kind of gone downhill from there. So I thought it was interesting that he was getting another opportunity at a Hollywood film with Mercy. So I had some optimism going in, but I like Chris Pratt.
I shouldn't just say this, but it's part screen movie, which always gives me pause. They're Searching is a great screen movie, and Tamir
Yes.
has produced like all of those.
Yes. Yes.
He produced, I believe, Unfriended. He produced Searching, which is great.
Searching
He
was
also,
good. Yeah.
yeah, he produced War of the Worlds, which is abysmal.
That one, the Prime movie from last year.
So
Yeah.
he is involved in all of those little screen movies, and this is again, I'd call it part screen movie. It's not
Yeah.
doesn't just take place on the screen, but it mostly takes place with a screen, at least in front of the character in some way. And when I see those movies, I don't know. They always kind of give me pause. Maybe I shouldn't just prejudge something like that, but yeah.
Well, it is fair to prejudge because that's a gimmick. They're going you're going in with the knowledge that some type of gimmick is being used. So there's that. I mean, I will say for me, I generally do not see IMAX 3D except for Avatar films.
I was going to ask you, how did you feel about that? Yeah.
So I saw the Monday release, which was the screen unseen, is what AMC calls it, and it was in IMAX 3D. So you automatically know it was the first ever screen unseen that was in IMAX. So that's of note, I guess. They've never done that before. Usually those screen unseens are on like a side theater or something.
Which is why my theater didn't get it.
So it was a bigger deal for it to be in IMAX 3D. I thought that the 3D was used well in this. It certainly added to the atmosphere of the film because as the viewer, a lot of the sequences, you get to see the environment around Chris Pratt.
Oh, the screens and everything.
Yeah, the screens. And because part of the technology being used, the AI technology being used, is recreation of crime scenes. And so you get to see like the house and just so the 3D actually was quite immersive in that sense. It's not like Avatar immersive, but I think that it at least enhanced the experience a little bit. Even though for the most part, I didn't love the movie. I think that it's an awful lot to ask of an actor to be stationary for the majority of your film and emote without it maybe not feeling authentic. Like some of the stuff, like, I don't know. I love Chris Pratt.
It's a tough thing to pull off.
I think he's a great actor, but I don't know that this was necessarily the right decision for him right now in his career because his career is a little precarious because he's only known right now as a guy that's in Marvel movies and dinosaur movies
and Mario.
And Mario. So he's got this like, I don't know. I'm a little nervous for Chris Pratt when it comes to stuff like this.
The good news for him is he's a funny guy. He could lean back on doing comedic stuff in some way.
Something
if he needs to. But I think he really wants to be that action star.
Well, yeah,
I get that because it brings in big bucks. But
now, and to be fair, I have not seen the critically acclaimed show that he has on Amazon about the military. I have not seen that show.
Yeah, the Terminal List. Yeah,
I've heard it's really great, but I'm just not usually that type of show is not what I watch, and so I don't know from an acting standpoint. Maybe he's elevated in a show like that versus Mercy, where he's being asked to be super serious. Like there's no levity at all in this movie. It's like a super serious subject matter because it's like a combination of Minority Report and The Fugitive. He's accused of murdering his wife. We're in the future where criminals are put into an AI court system to plead their case, and they have a certain amount of time before they are executed in the chair that they're sitting in to clear their name, basically. So that's kind of like your above the line premise there.
Yeah, it's not terrible.
No, it's not terrible.
There's certain parts of it that elevate it enough for me to go, I'm glad I saw it.
Yeah, sure.
It's a typical January, release in terms of not really hitting the mark. On the one hand, I felt like Bone Temple was such a great release for this month, but unfortunately, it's
Yeah.
not performing well. I don't think
No.
it was advertised well personally, but Mercy, on the other hand, has maybe the worst weekend to come out on. You've got a massive snowstorm that's absolutely going to affect theaters in the north,
Totally.
and across the country, and in
Yeah.
Canada, which is a part of our gross for the
Yeah.
box office total.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's not a great movie. So
Oh, and
the thing that stinks to me is that there are a lot of people who hate Chris Pratt for many different reasons.
right. Yeah, exactly.
And I've always just enjoyed him as kind of the funny guy from Parks and Rec, who made
Exactly.
kind of a career turn and did a great job with Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't
Yeah.
really care what he does or doesn't believe.
No, I'm the same
Personally.
way. Yeah, I'm the same way.
But a lot of people seem to hate him for various different reasons that they think
Mhm.
they know that he believes, even though they don't know
Nobody
necessarily.
really knows. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Everybody likes to make assumptions about things like that.
I am glad that he makes swings like this, though. I mean, it's not a great movie.
That's fair. I mean, I just wish. I don't know. I'm not saying that he needs to completely play it safe all the time and just be in franchises. I wouldn't mind seeing him in a drama.
Absolutely.
That's not considered like an action flick. Like,
Yeah.
I think that he would be a really great, play like a cop on a case or something. Like, I think that there's things that you can do with him as an actor where he doesn't have to be the comic relief, which maybe he's tired of. Maybe he doesn't want to be the comic relief anymore. But you're right. I'm glad that he's taken the risk of being in something like this and giving it a shot. I will say Rebecca Ferguson completely wasted. Completely wasted in this movie.
Unfortunately, she's an AI, and so
right.
she's not allowed to emote a ton.
There was a little bit, though.
Smiling. Well, there was some cracks towards the end where I thought she made some good choices.
Yeah.
But it's a very limiting role.
It is. It just was frustrating. I'm like, gosh, why are you, Rebecca Ferguson, choosing to do a movie like this?
Well, I'm sure that was a great job for her. She gets probably a nice paycheck out of that on one hand. And then on the other hand, she just gets to go to one location and shoot this real quick.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I was hoping for something a bit more from this, but I guess I should have known just based upon the previews that they gave us or the trailers that they gave us, and it just wasn't going to be much. But I don't know. January has really become a bit of a dumping ground. Because I think that, to your point, studios know that a lot of the country is going to be in weather situations in a month like this.
It's that, and there's a lot less foot traffic in January typically. But also, what has happened, I think one of the reasons we've driven to this point is you get a lot of blockbusters right at the end of December, and those continue to play through January.
Yeah.
And continue to make good money through January. And you don't want to go up against that with a weaker film, typically.
No.
And this is the first weekend now that Avatar is not going to be in first place.
I mean, I guess Mercy's,
which should have been last weekend, but unfortunately, Bone Temple just again,
So did Mercy eke out of first place? I guess.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't much though. It was only 15 or 12.
You made 15.
Yeah, maybe it was 12. It was low.
It was projected for 12, but that was before taking into account the snowstorm and everything.
So who knows what? I feel sorry for it. Yeah, and I guess that they can't count whatever box office was in the screen unseen. I don't know exactly how that works. I mean, they count it, but not for the weekend, maybe. I don't know.
Okay. They're projecting 11.2. So
it's rough. That is rough.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Maybe it was better if there was no snow. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. Well, I mean, we still have, next weekend, there's still a chance for maybe something a little more flashy.
Well, and something that's here's a kind of an undercurrent here. I've not been necessarily saying this, but this January has a chance to be one of the higher grossing Januaries post pandemic.
Just because of Avatar?
Yeah, probably.
I mean,
the new Avatar, Marty Supreme.
Releases. Yeah.
Avatar, Marty Supreme, Housemaid. a few of those Christmas releases or
Yeah,
week
so
before Christmas.
2025 releases.
But
Not that 2026 releases are giving any help, but the
no,
2025 releases were big enough.
not much. But that
Yeah.
is a good sign for certain things. It's a
Yeah.
it's a good sign that those December releases are holding well and making money for theaters throughout January. So
Yeah. And I think that next weekend's bigger release, which is, I mean, the one that I'm going to try and see is Send Help.
Mhm.
And I think that's what we talked about. Like that's
Yeah.
going to
So
be the main release we're going to see is Send Help.
yeah, our focus for next week will be Send Help, directed by Sam Raimi, and I'm excited about that.
I am too. I mean, I'm not necessarily saying that every single movie Sam Raimi has directed has been a hit or whatever, but
No.
generally when he is in the horror realm, it does well. And I think that because of the genre, I think you're going to have a certain amount of interest in the film above something like Mercy. I think the horror genre gets people out. That's the one genre that gets people out to theaters. I mean, when you've got a movie like Five Nights at Freddy's 2, which was horrific, I didn't see it, but making 100 million or more worldwide on a script that from what I understand, was horrible. That genre is still making lots of, and Primate did well enough. I mean, so you've still got that particular genre. People go out to see those movies.
The thing about January is they need to be lower budgeted films too.
Yeah.
And hopefully, there's no information on Send Help right now, but hopefully that's kind of in that category. I mean, in terms of an action movie, Mercy is 60 million. That's honestly kind of cheap for the stars you have.
Actually. Yeah.
And for it being an action movie.
That's good. Yeah, maybe, I mean, it won't make that back, but that's okay. I mean,
yeah,
at least they didn't lose more money than they're going to lose.
Well, and again, they can go, well, it's going to go on streaming eventually, and hopefully it picks up some steam from that. A lot of people view it, but we'll see.
And I always root for Rachel McAdams. Like, I really like her as an actress, and so I'm hoping that at the very least, it looks like she got to do a lot of things that maybe she's never gotten to do before in a movie. And so she's having some fun, I think.
I thought she was quietly, and it was a very small part, but I thought she was quietly very good in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Oh, yeah. No,
so I'm glad to see them re-team up.
Yeah.
For this movie.
I think it's a good idea. I mean, I think it works well for both parties. I think Sam Raimi is kind of getting back to his roots a little bit with the genre. And Dylan O'Brien, he's kind of on the hot list right now of being in everything. He was in so many movies, like smaller films, but he was in a lot of movies last year. And I think he's going to be in a couple more this year. So he's having quite a career. I wouldn't call it a resurgence, but there's some consistency to the work that he's getting.
Yeah.
And he's a good actor. I've liked him, for a while. So I think it's a good pairing with those two. Obviously it'll be minimal as far as location. We're going to be in like one location for most of the movie, it seems like. Mm-hmm. So I think that the opportunity is there for something at least compelling enough to enjoy, which Mercy did not give us that opportunity.
Yeah, and Searchlight's going to have to go, because that's a Searchlight film, I believe.
It is. It is.
They have to go and really campaign to get people to go see that.
That is a studio that is in danger of just disappearing at this point. If they don't start, I don't know, just marketing their films a little bit better. I don't know what the deal is with Searchlight. I mean, it's a little bit disappointing. I mean, every studio has an independent for the most part. I mean, Warner's is bringing theirs back. Warner Independent is coming back, and it had been gone for several years. So every studio has these like smaller wings of their studios where they can release smaller films. But Searchlight is weird. I don't know that Searchlight has released a horror film like this before. Generally, it's more for dramatic, smaller films. So it's interesting for Searchlight to release this. But I guess
to their credit,
mm-hmm.
some of their better grossing films have come in the last couple of years with Poor Things and A Complete Unknown. So
that's true. Yeah, Complete Unknown did a lot better than I think people were anticipating it to do. Because didn't Searchlight also do Deliver Me from Nowhere? Or was that them also?
I think that was them.
Yeah, see, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see.
Look, not as bad as Lionsgate.
Look,
So,
I'm excited for any new Sam Raimi film. So
absolutely.
I'm in for this one. It actually did have a sneak preview release this weekend, so it'll be interesting to see if any reviews start trickling in.
I have some friends that got to see it, and some acquaintances I've met online that got to go to some press screenings and were raving.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I'm
good.
excited.
Okay, that's enough for me. That's good. That's enough for me to be excited about it. Yeah.
Where can people find you on social media, Mike?
Definitely, I'm at the Michael Nip on X and Michael Nip on Letterboxd. I watched a really great documentary today. It's really short, hour and 18 minutes, but it's about the creation of Disneyland. I watched it on Disney Plus. Worth a watch if you're into that type of thing.
Okay.
But I log all that stuff on Letterboxd. It's pretty much where you'll hear my movie takes. I don't do movie takes usually on Instagram or X, though. That it's Letterboxd. I keep it there.
You can find Cinema Debrief on X / Twitter. You can find us on Instagram at Cinema Debrief for both those sites. You can find me at Garrison Ryfun, or sorry, G Ryfun, G Ryfun 3 on X, GRYFUN, and you can find me on Letterboxd at just G Ryfun. You can email us if you want to get into the Discord and have some fun with us. We've been having a lot of conversations lately at cinemadebriefpod@gmail.com. We've already got one email just from Jeremy Burgess giving us some nice compliments. So we'd love to have more feedback and more people reaching out to potentially join the Discord, and leave us a like or a rating, review, or whatever on whatever podcatcher you're listening on, and let us know about when you leave it, because I'm not on every single podcatcher, and I'd love to be able to read those. So we'll see you next week for Send Help and the Big Brawl.